In the first round, it was a little more competitive. I'm curious how you thought the fight was playing out versus your expectations.
I knew I was down the first round. He had a great distance. Southpaw, who was working his box and he's striking really good. So I knew, and my coach, I have great coaches at American Top Team. They told me, move forward. You got to move forward. So I did what they said, and I guess work it out.
Yeah, you could say that. And not only did you move forward, I mean, you went for the takedown, you dropped down, you went immediately to the leg. I'm curious, in your head, did you know kind of the sequence that you were expecting when you ran forward like that?
Yes. When I go against southpaws, I do this a lot, right hand, and I step it from my right leg, and I go to the double leg. So, and this move I drill a lot because I know he has a really good single leg defense, but he doesn't have a good ground game. So I knew even if I were in the bottom, I would be an advantage for me, So I drill this a lot, even in the locker room. Single leg, he defends, go straight for the foot lock or heel hook.
Fantastic. And you were kind of turned the other way, but it looked like maybe he tapped once before the fight stopped. Did you feel that at all, or did you know if he tapped?
Yeah, I felt he's tapping, but he didn't stop, and the referee didn't stop. So I kept going, and I heard his leg popping a few times.
But I mean, obviously, it's just what you're told to do, right? Is to wait till the referee.
Yeah, like he tapped. First I went for the foot lock. His leg popped. He tapped. The referee didn't stop. But when he tapped, I stopped, but I didn't let go. But the referee didn't stop, so I just kept going too.
Fair enough. Well, this is an impressive win for you. Obviously, a name that's been around for a long time. So, what do you think should come next for you now?
Yeah, as I said, he's a former number 6 in the world, So since I got to the UFC, I got nothing but tough fights, First fight, short notice, elevation against Benil Dariush. Then I got a fight in Rio. Then I went overseas to fight a tough Russian guy. So now Michael Johnson, 2 weeks notice in the middle of this pandemic, So if UFC wanna give me tough fights, yeah, that's what I want, So why not Anthony Pettis? He wants come back to lightweight, so why not him? I have all the tools to beat him up,
Right. Could you hear the commentators during the fight? A lot of fighters say they could hear Daniel, like Paul Felder or Daniel Cormier talking, and they could use that to their advantage. So did you hear the commentary during your fight?
Not really. I was just focused on my coaches. That's what I was focused on. Was on his voices.
And how was this fight week amid the pandemic? Everyone's stuck in the same hotel. Everyone has to get checked every day. So what was fight week like for you during this pandemic?
It was a little bit different. We had to get check it every day, make sure everybody was safe. I want to say thank you to the UFC, thank you Dana White and Sam Shelby for making this event happen. We fighters, we are very grateful for this.
Last one, what did you make of the news of Jacare's testing positive last week?
I hope and I wish safe recovery for him, speedy recovery for him and his family, his corners. And thanks God, UFC could detect that, so they can take care of him now.
Okay. Hey, Thiago, congratulations on the victory. That first round, how are you feeling like heading into that second round? Did you feel like you needed to go out there and do something spectacular to get the fight back for you?
Yeah, I was down one round, so my coach told me move forward. And I listened to them, and that's what I did. I went forward. I went to look for what is mine. Mission.
And they mentioned on the broadcast that you got to work with Dustin Poirier in this fight. Dustin got to fight Michael. How influential was he in your training camp and helping you prepare for this fight?
He helped me a lot, because he has a similar style than Michael Johnson. Both guys southpaw. He has really good boxing, really good cardio, so it was very helpful.
And heading into the fight, did you feel like you could submit him? Because Johnson's not an easy guy to submit.
Yes, I felt I could submit him. I watched his fights. I knew he didn't have a good ground game. He commits a lot of mistakes on the ground, so I was ready to capitalize that.
How do you feel now that you've kind of soaked it in? I mean, this has got to be the biggest win of your career.
Yeah, I feel great, man. This was a big turnaround on my career, just ready for the next step.
And then last one for me, what is next for you? Are you looking to get back in there as soon as you can? Because you live in Florida, so I'm sure it's a little bit easier to take a fight. Yes,
I'm ready to go. I'm healthy, 100%. I'm going to be back training Monday, fix my mistakes, and as ready to go.
Enjoy the victory tonight, Thiago. Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next, we have Adriana Albuquerque with Combate.
Oi, Thiago, tudo bem? Adriano aqui do Combate. Queria te perguntar, porque com a transmissão agora, né, sem plateia, dá para a gente ouvir o diálogo de você com o seu treinador, né? No caso, a gente viu um diálogo seu com o Parrumpinha e ele dizendo que sentiu você acuado, né, no primeiro round, que pareceu que você recuou, e acho que você disse que você quase sentou com um golpe. Você sentiu um golpe do Johnson. Eu queria que você falasse um pouco mais como foi esse primeiro round, se você realmente sentiu a vantagem do Johnson em pé e como isso te fez mudar a estratégia para o segundo round.
Então, senti sim que não estava difícil de encontrar a distância, né? Um golpe ali, um chute na barriga, mas mantive firme ali, não ia desistir nunca. E não ia desistir até sair com o braço erguido. Foi isso que aconteceu. Graças a Deus eu consegui buscar a finalização. Aí, grandes treinadores, né? Catel, Macarrão, o Parrumpinha ali no meu corner. Ouviu as dicas dele, consegui absorver bem, voltar bem ali para vencer no segundo round.
E você disse no case também que quer enfrentar o Anthony Pettis, né? Esse é um nome que você já estava planejando desafiar ou foi algo que veio da cabeça na hora?
Então, eu já venho assistindo as lutas deles ali, acredito que eu tenho todas as armas ali para vencer ele. Então, como eu disse, né, desde quando eu entrei no UFC, o UFC só tem dado pedreiras para mim. Benio Dariush já foi top 10 também, o Michael Johnson também já foi top 10, então por que não o Anthony Pettis, né? Então, eu tô pronto aí, tô aqui na Flórida e vou precisar aí só ligar, a gente vai trabalhar.
Obrigado, Thiago. I'm done, guys. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Thiago. That was the last one. You're finished.
All right, thank you.
Take care.